Hey, what's up everyone? In today's video we'll be looking at the BKS Janus. So this is a high pin count lock from the German company BKS. It's definitely not easy to pick and it's absolutely difficult to get. So let's take a look at it. So here's our key. It's actually pretty beefy and we can see some cuts for the pins. There are 4 directions and this key is reversible, so there's more cuts than 12 because it works both ways. Okay, here is our plug, or actually let me show you the housing first, because it acts sort of like a sleeve, because the pins are contained inside by it. The core slides in like this, and when you're getting the lock you're sort of slowly pushing the core out and removing the pins like this. So there's the housing and oops, that's the core. So looking at the keyway, it's very weird, it's unusual, it's shaped like number 8 and it's not actually too small, but if you populate all the pins in there you can imagine that it gets kinda cramped in there. And indeed the pins are actually coming from 4 directions here, so it's sort of like this, like one is here at 2 o'clock, then at 1 o'clock or 12:30 let's say, and then mirrored like here and here. So 4 directions, but all of the pins are concentrated in the upper segment of this number 8, and this bottom one is used to tension for us speakers, and it's actually kind of awkward to find something that would fit in there and make a good tensioner. I only took like a bottom of keyway tensioner and realized that somehow I can get it stuck in there. It's probably a better idea to make your own, but you know, I always use it. If there is something I can use that is simple and I don't have to produce or manufacture anything, I will use that, even if it's worse. Okay, so let's take a look at the pins. So the drivers are not too exciting because all of them look the same. They are basically standards and they are so small they look like wafers. Maybe one thing that is important is that we are looking at the spring side of the wafer now, or sorry, the driver, and you can tell that there is like a cutout around the inner edge to accommodate for the spring. So there is actually a way how to orientate these drivers when you are reassembling the lock. And for the key pins we have several shapes. I will show you some of them. So okay, that one went flying. I think I see it. Okay, excuse me, I have it. So this is one of them, sort of like your default T-shaped high pin count lock key pin. You can see it has a little lip on the top, so if you overset it you are basically done. And what else do we have here? Yeah, I will show this one because this one actually threw me off a lot. This one is noticeably shorter than all of the other ones, and it's sitting really like high. Let's call it high, but you know, it's like almost pushed into the housing, and it's difficult to find it. First I thought there is no pin in there, but then I realized that something is there. It's this one. It's really small and it's tricky if you don't know that it's there. So the whole picking experience is pretty miserable, honestly, because this lock oversets a lot easier than some old Kaba, and Kabas are notorious, especially if they're old, for oversetting and tapered feel. So this is basically the same, but probably even worse. Like Kabas, you have to be extremely careful not to overset anything, but at the same time sometimes you need to like tap some pins multiple times, so that's annoying. And probably if you ever get like a false set in this lock, you should just restart. You are done. You're definitely not like dropping stuff to fix it. So false set is really bad in here, and so is counter rotation. So if you ever get counter rotation, you know that something is wrong. So as I mentioned, to pick this I use this bottom of the keyway tensioner, but I strongly advise you to do something better like me. And for setting the pins I use the combination of one of these, I think this is the medium flat top Moki hook in 19,000, and this one I only used is the number 8 for some of the pins on the bottom right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All in all, this lock has some potential, but it's more than anything it's annoying to pick, and it's not really a fun lock. And I think there are many problems with it. Locksmiths don't like this lock because it's like faulty, and I think I know why, because these pins are so small that, you know, sometimes the springs can get mangled in there. And I also experienced that one of these pins basically flipped vertically in its chamber because it's so small, and as I was picking it, it sort of stayed in that position. So I can imagine this being a pretty faulty lock overall. Anyway, that's enough of theory. Let's go ahead and get this lock picked. Alright, here we go. So the key works. Okay, let me just make sure that everything drops down, because some of these pins have a nasty habit of staying up. And now there's an awkward tensioning. Yeah, I think this should do. Okay, so let's go. So there's one pin on the bottom left. I think there was a click there. There's one on top right. Click there. Two on top right. And maybe even 4 on top right. Now top left. 1 and 2. Okay, let me see the bottom pins. Super small click on 1, bottom right. Okay. This is actually not the best tool for these pins. Okay. Something out of 5 and 4. And now 3. Okay. Okay, let me see. Maybe the log is already open, because it doesn't really react good to picking. Yeah, it is. Perfect. So I don't know why, but it turns really like difficult when it's picked. So yeah, but obviously you could see the core turned. Alright, so not sure yet how do I approach this gutting, because the whole process is kind of tedious. But I can show you at least to start. Maybe I was speeded up. I don't even have a good tray actually, so that's not good, but yeah, let me try. So first thing you need to do is grab some tweezers. Okay, I do have them. And sort of, there's usually like a, I don't know, roll pin, but it's not really a roll pin, but it's like just a, you know, this kind of thing. I don't know what it is. Almost like a roll pin. And then from the bottom you can remove two things that look like chess pieces. Yeah, like this. And they are actually retaining the core. And now, well, now it's time just to start sliding the core out. So there are 5 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For each side, and there's like bottom left, top right, and bottom right. So I will do like bottom left will be on top, top left will be like in here, top right will be here, and bottom right will be here. Okay, and I will definitely speed this up. I will just show you the start. So you start sliding this out, and you can already see that there's a chamber with a spring in here. Luckily enough, these springs are not too strong and they don't really like jump out on you, but you still should be careful when you are removing them, and always check if there's not another chamber wanting to pop out. So yeah, this is what this is like, top right, position 5. So I will put it like, I guess here, right? And then you should basically just somehow remove the super small driver pin, and usually this key pin needs a little persuasion to go out like this, and it's out. So yeah, okay, but let me, I don't know, I don't want to mess this up, kinda. I don't know if there's enough space. There should be. Okay, so I'm definitely speeding up this whole process. It's too bright in here, isn't it? Definitely was. And yeah, so wish me luck so I don't lose anything. And there you have it. It was kinda nerve-wracking, but here we are. So I managed to get all of the pins out. I think that some of the springs look a bit mangled. I think it was already like that, because the lock turned kinda difficult sometimes, even with a key. But yeah, here it is. Close up on all of the pins. There we have them. And yeah, that's all I wanted to show you for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, the gutting was far longer than the pick itself, but sometimes that's the way it is with these locks. I'm definitely glad that I have this one. I can cross this one off my list. Alright, see you later.